How's everybody doing tonight? We're going to be playing ourselves another mobile game, which it's kind of weird. I guess I'm on like a mobile game kick at the moment, as on Tuesday we played a game on the Apple side of things, the upside down Apple. You get the idea there. Played on iPad, but tonight we're playing on an Android phone, because what we're going to be playing tonight is a game that was shut down way too soon in my opinion. We're going to be playing Sonic Runners. Now, a little bit of history for this game, specifically my history, and then I'll talk about the overall game's release and what happened to it. This was one of the first real mobile games I put a lot of time into. It came out around 2015, and it was a simple concept, just an endless runner. All you gotta do is just tap on your screen to do the actions. It was pretty easy to control, but it had a lot of depth for being such a simple concept, and it was a fun game just to play from time to time. Perfect thing to whip out when you're just waiting around somewhere, out and about. It was just a fun little distraction, but unfortunately the game had a lot of issues, which only gave it about a year's worth of time in the market. So this game was released in 2015. Specifically, it had a stagnant kind of release. It was announced at the very end of 2014, but then it released in Japan and Canada first in February of 2015, right at the very end of February too, on the 25th. So this game was only out in 2 territories for a good couple months, because it didn't release worldwide until June of 2015. So during that time, I remember actually downloading the APK file for Android, because for those of you who don't know, you can actually install whatever apps you want on an Android phone just by using the APK file format instead. You can just download a file, hit run, and it installs the app. That's what I did with Sonic Runners, because I'm not from Japan, I'm not from Canada, I'm not in these regions that can play. For whatever reason, a lot of Android games have done this in the past, where their first initial release is in territories very specific, and I've noticed Japan and Canada seem to usually be the two where mobile games come out a couple months early to as a beta test. And that really didn't matter, because you can just install the game wherever you lived anyways, which is what I did. And I was hooked. When it actually came out in June 2015, I remember transferring over my file from the beta test period, playing more of it then, but it only lasted for a little over a year. Sonic Runners released June of 2015, and then was shut down July of 2016. And you want to know why? This right here. This is literally the reason why. One bad update. A few months into the game's life, Sega updated Sonic Runners with a very aggressive spike wall treatment. The further you got in the level, the more likely it is where you just run into a wall of spikes. It is literally impossible to cross this gap. You can't do anything about this. The reason why this update happened? Pay to win. Sega wanted you to buy more lives to continue playing the game. This was a free-to-play mobile game at the end of the day, so you had to pay Sega money to continue playing for longer periods. Otherwise, you gotta wait about a day for your lives to recharge. Just like any other mobile game, you play for X amount of time, usually it's like a couple minutes to an hour. Then you gotta wait, otherwise, pay us some extra money, get some lives early. That's essentially what the Spike Wall update was doing. It was forcing players to buy lives, which nobody liked. So, this is what killed the game essentially, because Sega doubled down on this idea. They flat out even told people that, hey, if you fail, we got some obstacles to appear, but you can pay some money so you can get some extra lives, and maybe come back to this later, do some of the extra challenges. It's like, they were really trying to push players for the microtransactions in this game halfway through, and it just failed horribly. A lot of people stopped playing at this point, and then just a few months later in 2016, that's when the game had its plug pulled. Which is a shame, because if this update specifically, where Sega was forcing players to get more lives from the microtransaction system, if this didn't happen, then the game would probably have continued. There was a sequel made, Sonic Runners Adventure, I believe it's called. Completely different studio that made it. Way worse of a game from what I've heard. I haven't tried it. It was an actual paid game, so it didn't have any of the microtransaction issues, but it had like a quarter of the quality that this version of Runners had. Not to mention, it had worse physics from what I've heard, so people just didn't enjoy playing it. So I don't think that's even active anymore from what I understand, but this game might have gotten shut down because, again, a bad update, but the fans brought it back, and this is the version we're playing tonight. Sonic Runners Revival. This is a fan server version of Sonic Runners. Now, it's not the same exact app, so I no longer have my original Sonic Runners app. I don't even remember what my user ID and transfer code and all that was, so I'm starting over from scratch. So we'll get to see how this game plays from the very beginning. All I did was play the tutorial just to see how it runs on modern hardware. That's all I did. And so far, it's looking really good. This version of the game brings it back to full life. So you got events coming back, you got all the playable characters in the game. It's being updated very regularly. So this is going to be a version that's, from what I can see, maintained from years to come. Because this has been a project that's been going since 2019. It's a very ongoing project. It's had a lot, but it has two different versions. I should preference this for this reason. It has a stable version and a beta version. We're going to be playing the beta version tonight, version 2.3.0 beta 6. The reason why is version 2.2.4. This version apparently is not going to work on newer phones. It even says right here, any flagship device released in 2023 and beyond, using chipsets, they phase out 32-bit cores. What that means is that 32-bit apps won't work on the device. Sonic Runners, 32-bit app. So we're going to be playing a newer version that converted the game to a newer format, works on more phones. You can play this on Android, on iOS, even if it's not a jailbroken device apparently. I'm going to be playing on an Android just because it's simpler. I mean, it's way easier for me to capture because it's just a one-chord solution compared to my iPad. But you can play, and that goes for even the beta, Android or iOS. It's not exclusive just to Android, but it's much easier to play on Android if you have the option. I'd recommend that. And thankfully, because of this, I can easily just capture this all with one chord from my phone. I'm just using USB-C, so we shouldn't really have any problems when it comes to capturing. I'm going to be using a program called Scrippy. I've used this a bunch over the years. It's just a simple screen mirroring software. Takes this screen, plops it on your computer. Simple as that. And one of the newer updates to Android also lets you have audio, which is good because I have no headphone jack. How would I get audio out of this thing? So all of it's going from the phone, which is perfect. So I think now, all of that said, let's go ahead, kill off everything. We don't need any more of that music, and we don't need that browser. Wake the phone up. Because now, let me just go ahead and load up the game, which is Rivals Beta. As I said, I'm playing the beta version, so it is technically a different app. If you have either version installed, you can play either one. But again, we're just focusing on the beta. There'll be a watermark down there in the screen, but you won't even notice it. Especially if you actually play on the phone, your hand's probably going to cover that up. So, this is Sonic Runners Revival. Now, kind of got a gap on the screen. Don't really care for that gap all too much. I can say, we get rid of those black bars. Fill up the screen. So I'm going to immediately start with offline mode here, just to give me a practice run. This was not a thing in the original version. Offline practice mode allows you just, as it says, freely practice the game offline. So you can play 3 different stages, no need for an internet connection. Perfect for a mobile device where you can go through a dead zone at any given moment. There's no save data for this, you're just playing maps, that's it. But I think just playing one of these stages will be a good demonstration on how this game will work. And then we're going to jump into the main mode of the game. So let's start off with this first stage here on our left. It's the speed stage. So let's hit play. So, this is Sonic Runners. It's an endless runner. All you do is just tap the screen and jump. And that's the premise. So, it seems very simple, but it's a very, very addictive kind of game. If you played any other Endless Runner, it's very similar to a lot of those in the market. Because at this time, Endless Runners in 2015 was a very common thing to see on a mobile device. This was just the popular game style of the time. But I do think this is one of the better Endless Runners that came out during this era. And it has fantastic music too. The music in this game is just, for a mobile game specifically, you wouldn't think it would need to go this hard, but it does. The music in Sonic Runners is fantastic. Very, very underrated in my honest opinion, but that's just because this game only had a year's lifespan. So people probably haven't heard most of the songs in this game because of it being only around for about 13 months. Which is a shame. Anyway, it just shows, don't be too greedy and make an update that essentially kills your game due to microtransactions. Sega really learned a big lesson after this game. Because I don't think any of their other mobile games have ever done anything that catastrophic. I'm also right now just playing off the feed you guys are seeing on stream. I might start looking at my phone screen since it's slightly delayed. Not by much, but enough for me to maybe want to swap to the other screen for some of these precise button jumps. Oh, I missed it. I wanted the Wisp. This is technically based off of Sonic Lost World, as that was the newest Sonic game that came out at the time. Mainline, let's say, because technically Sonic Boom was the actual newest release in 2014, but no one wants to talk about Sonic Boom, not even Sega. Don't blame them. It was a big flop. So, because this is based off Sonic Lost World, you're going to have a lot of things here specifically reference Sonic Lost World's aesthetics. So, we got the main level themes here being very similar to Sonic Lost World. You got a lot of the powers being the same. So, we got Wisps here, returning from Sonic Colors and, well, by extension, Lost World. And we might see one of them here soon. If I can get one. There we go, Asteroid. This one will just suck up anything near us. Way better than the Asteroid version that was in Sonic Lost World. That one is fine, it's just very situational. It's only in 2 levels in the entire game, so that shows how situational that was. Be careful, don't want to get hit. Thankfully I have a shield so I can take 1 hit, and I do have another character. Here in practice mode, I do have access to 2 character slots, so I can swap between them at any given time. But as of right now, I'm just going to mainly play as the 1 character we have, so we're just going to play as Sonic. That was close. I'm going to get hit by the spikes. Nor the drills. Ooh, red ring. Want that? That's the currency in this game for all the stuff you're going to be doing from the microtransaction side of things. So like unlocking characters, for example. Now, it doesn't matter here for this specific mode I'm playing, but hey, it would have been nice to have. Now, once you get past the 3rd checkpoint, going to checkpoint 4 here, you're in the hard mode version of your run. Because this version, you don't get any rings. So you got to do all this without taking any damage. Be pretty nerve-wracking. If you hit a wall, you instantly die. So there's also that to be concerned about too. But now we're also playing as a different type of character. There's 3 character types in Sonic Runners. And we'll probably end up seeing the 3rd one soon, because I'll just play another one of these to show off the 3rd character. But you have the speed character, flight character, and power character. They all have different attributes, and they're used for different specifics, well, jumps and extra powers and such for these levels. You mainly will be playing a speed character, but there will be times you may want to play as a power character or a flight character, depending on the stage. So let's just swap to Knuckles here. And we'll start off with the flight stage. Even though it may not be a great idea to play as a power character in a flight stage, might as well try it. So, power characters, they can do a dash attack. So they get a little bit of extra distance because of that. So that's the dash attack. It's kind of a simple thing, but keeps you in the air for a little bit longer. Speed character has a 3 different jump setup. Flight character, well, as the name implies, can fly. I believe power character is the worst type in this game. They're not good. They really are not. It's really dependent on the stage if a power character is great or terrible. A stage like this, Knuckles is pretty bad. Flight's probably the best type of character just because of how high they can fly. And that triple jump idea the speed character has, the flight character can go even higher due to their flight mechanic. I mean, triple jump's great, but you're in the air way longer with a flight character. So as you can see, there are a couple different collectibles in these stages. You got rings, which obviously are good so you don't take any damage. You got these crystals, which are good for score. And then the red rings, which are your main collectible type here. Speaking of the devil. All these will add up to your score overall. Also, this stage's song, this is called Fly Away. Fantastic song. One of my favorites in the OST. Seriously, Sonic Runners has a very underrated OST. Give it a listen sometime if you had the chance, because this is really, really good for a mobile game soundtrack. You wouldn't think a mobile game soundtrack would be this good, but it is, and it got updated halfway through the game's life with more music. Not that much music in this game in total, but every single song I feel in this game specifically, it's all worth listening to. I can't really think of a single song I'm like, nah, I don't want to listen to that, and I'm going to always skip it if it comes up on a playlist. Pretty much every song in this game I'll give a listen. And the whole soundtrack is on streaming services like Spotify. So, very easy to find it. Just look up Sonic Runners OST and you'll find it. I believe it's under a different name, technically, the actual OST. I just can't remember what it's called. Oh, I missed Eggman. If you let him go behind you like that, it instantly ends the boss rush section. So you just continue going on from the speed up. There we go. Combo bonus. This will give me more points the more items I get to keep the combo going. Even rings count, so I want to keep that going as long as possible. Come on, there we go. Okay. Drill, I remember being kind of a weird power in this because you want to stay above ground to get all the goodies, but that's not how drill works. So you're constantly tapping the screen to get out of the dirt that you're in with drill, just to get like some rings or a lot of these crystals. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Thankfully, we're still in a section that can give me rings, so it's not that big of a deal if I take some damage. Oh. Okay. I think we got a bigger problem there. Alright, so, as a reminder, this is a beta build of Sonic Runners Revival. There will be bugs. Found one. Fell through the floor. Big oops. That wasn't really the best run anyway, so I'm fine with that dying. Offline mode doesn't matter. It's fine. Alright, let's swap here. I'm going to do the last stage. Why not? We already done 2 of the 3. I might as well play the last stage in offline mode. This is the power stage. So this will be a good demonstration for Knuckles. Anytime you want to swap the characters, you can just hit the button down below on your screen where it just shows the character swap icon. You just tap that and boom. Now we're a different character. So these enemies here that are made of steel, that's where the power character comes into play. They're good for attacking very specific enemy types. So I only really remember using power characters in power stages for that reason, because those enemies don't really appear in the other stages. Also gotta get better with those launch pads, because I gotta hit the screen the moment I would jump off of one of those pads. That'll give me extra height. When I swap to the main mode, I'm gonna probably end up just playing on my phone screen instead of the computer screen. Because it is kind of weird to look up and then tap down on my screen. I feel like I should be looking at the thing I'm tapping. It might help my timing too. Timer's basically over there. Rather go for the rings. Problem with the power characters, they just flat out can't take certain routes because they don't have that extra height that a speed or flight character can get. Which is another reason why I only really find myself using these characters in these very specific kinds of stages. Because they're just not as versatile either. Did I knock at the magnet? That's shocking. Okay, that was too high. That was my fault for missing the wisp, but that doesn't really matter. Red ring? Can I get it? Yeah, there you go. Wait, that hurts? I didn't know drilling into the back of Eggman with a power character can actually hurt you. That's kind of weird. I wish I could take that top path, but I can't, so we'll just start from below. Now, every character has a mid-air jump when you fall off a ledge, so I can still save myself from falling down below. That was a good use of Asteroid. I can't remember how many other Wisps are in this game. The only ones I'm thinking of are Asteroid, Wisp, Asteroid, Wisp. Yeah, there's only one. Asteroid, Laser, and Drill. I can't remember if there was any more outside of those core three. Drill is my least favorite, just because of it being more situational for if it gets you points or not. Asteroid, I believe, was my favorite because of how useful it was sucking in everything around you. And then Laser's pretty good as well. We might see it at some point. Probably not here in the practice mode anymore. But Laser works basically the same as it does in every Sonic game it's been featured in. You shoot forward in a straight line, and you can hit crystals to adjust your set path. It's also good for picking up a lot of crystals as well on the ground. Oh, I hit the screen a little too late. Well, now we're going to play as our speed character. That's why it helps having multiple characters in your arsenal, because then you can swap mid-level if you need to. Which includes dying. Ah, too high. You wanted to wait until a little bit lower before you hit the jump button. Alright, so that's how the basics work here in Sonic Runners. That's how all three of the types work for characters. Standard gameplay, the Wisp powers. Basically, at this point, you've seen it all. But let's return to the title screen and play the main game itself. I love how this has an offline mode, so you can play this whenever. But we're going to play the main game. This song might sound familiar for people who regular my streams for like, I feel like 8 years. Somewhere around there. This song has been used a lot over the years. 1 second, you'll see where. So just give me a second. We'll be right back. Sound familiar? This song from the main menu of Sonic Runners, that is the song I've been using over the years for intermission. Yeah, it's that good of a song from a mobile game of all things. I use this specifically because of just how good the OST is in this game. And this is just such a relaxing menu theme. It fits perfectly for if you're just doing things behind the scenes or changing settings. So I've been using this for years. Nope, that's the wrong version. Hang on, we gotta swap back down the screen again. There you go. So this was part of Volume 2, this specific song. And it's actually called, I believe it's Ambition. I'm looking it up now. Yep, it was called Ambition. This was from the Volume 2 version of the soundtrack. So this came later on in the game's life, too. We'll probably hear the other version of the main menu theme, the one that was playing here from day one. Now, you're getting a lot of whatever things because mobile game. Welcome to Sonic Runners Revival, the most popular fan server for the defunct mobile game Sonic Runners. Shout out to you guys maintaining the servers. A daily battle. Ooh, interesting. So this is something that's currently in the beta testing phases. Maybe something I wouldn't have access to if I wasn't playing this specific build. These people do have a bunch of different socials, Discord, YouTube, social media pages as a whole. So plenty of places to follow them. They're also on Game Jolt as well. Nice to know. And there's the rest of your information. But we're not here for any of that. I want to jump into the story mode, because yes, this had a story mode, a mobile game. This is the other main menu theme that you may be familiar with if you've played this game back in the day. This was the original main menu theme. I think it's called Where to Today, which is actually kind of a fitting name for what the song is. The song you hear whenever you're getting ready to play. So I can equip things based on my ring count, so I can get extra items coming into the stage, but I'm not going to do any of that right now. I'm just going to jump in as is. So this shouldn't be all that bad in terms of difficulty, because this is the first stage you're supposed to play outside of the tutorial. So, beginning on here, things are going to be pretty simple. So remember, I want to actually look down at the screen itself, because that's going to make this way easier. Yeah, this feels way smoother. It helps because technically I'm playing on a high refresh screen. So my phone is a Samsung Galaxy S22, and this phone has a 120 hertz refresh rate. So for gaming like this, it feels fantastic. You always want a high refresh rate screen if you're doing any kind of gaming, because the higher the refresh, the less input lag you have as a whole. Let's go, Eggman. This song's also a really good one, too. This is called Beyond the Speed Of. This is essentially the main theme of Sonic Runners. So you hear this when you boot the game up, you hear this in a lot of the different speech stages. It's a very recognizable theme to a point where Sega actually made a remix of this song a couple years back. I believe it was during Sonic's 30th anniversary, where they're going back and doing a lot of remixes for a bunch of different Sonic games, OSTs, just to celebrate the 30th birthday. In some ways, I actually don't like the remix version as much as the original. It's mainly just because of one piece of the song specifically. The remix doesn't do justice, and it's the piano part. It doesn't have that at all, which is kind of odd. That's like one of the best parts about this song. It's just not there in the remix version. Oh, the literal frame, I'm gonna attack him. That's when he had to go. I don't even need to worry about dodging these all too much because of this invincibility. I'm just so used to doing it. Oh, took a hit. Oh no, my shield. Why you have a shield? Rings aren't gonna matter too much here in just a moment, because they're gonna lose them all going through the last checkpoint. No, it's too high of a jump. Those sections are really nerve-wracking. Ah, there you go. So, I'm down, but because of that, I can continue this run if I feel like I'm having a really solid run of the stage. I want to get a higher score. You can pay 3-star rings to continue. This is where the Spike update really got sick of a lot of money. Because 3 red rings, you can buy with real-world money. And they were kind of expensive. This version I don't think has any like microtransaction system. That was an okay run. I don't want to continue it. I want to move on to a different stage. So we're not going to pay the red star rings for that. You can get the red rings in the game itself. You don't have to just buy them outright, which is good for the sake of this version. You can't buy them at all. Your main character also has a level system, as you can see here. So the more you play as that character, the more they level up. And they just get better as a whole. Oh yeah, I can show this off to my friends. No thanks. I'm good. Depending on how many points we have, that's how much of the story we continue. So we're already at Eggman. Okay, I don't know why my phone said let's go charging. Been doing that this whole time. So, this is the end of the road for you, Eggman. You won't be bullying any more animals, that's the plot of this game. It's just your standard plot point, animal abuse Eggman here. I do like they're using a remix version of his theme that was introduced in Sonic 06. This is just basically Eggman's theme in almost every game, especially at this era. I'm just going in as is. I don't really need to have any powers for this. It's a simple fight. Boss fights in this game, because if it's an endless runner, there's not much you really do. You just pop the guy in the head and that's it. You've already seen how these boss fights work. They're essentially the same as every time you get to the end of a section in a level. That's it. You can use color powers to also do damage to Eggman too, but the name of the game here is just a volley. Throw something at me that I can actually hit, and I'll hit it right back. And that's the boss fight. Every boss fight in this game is essentially like that, but you only play these once in a while. So, it's fine for them to be simple. It's a mobile game after all. You also get eggs in this. Talk about the eggs when we get to the main menu. You collect 10 of these things, and then you can roll on a premium roulette. We'll also talk about the roulettes here in a minute. Count yourself lucky you don't have time for your nonsense. You never have time for my nonsense. In every boss fight, you do get some kind of goodie. So in this case, I just get a bunch of rings. Well, in a bunch of rings case, it's a combo bonus power, so... Knuckles, that wasn't rings. There's the rings. You're holding out on me, I knew it. Also got 10 red star rings. That's perfect for if you want to continue runs, and for other stuff. Got a rank up. And now episode 2, Save the Animals. Every episode is essentially saving the animals, so I don't know why they gave them actual names. The story in this really doesn't matter in the grand scheme. You're probably gonna forget that there's a story in this game. Because again, it's a mobile game. You're gonna pick this up, put it down very frequently. I mean, back in the day, the most I played of this was maybe an hour? And that was around the time it first came out, because the whole pay-to-win system wasn't really a problem yet. Alright, well, we're going back, because now I want to talk about that roulette system. Now that we've done a couple stages, it's perfect to do it. So, there's 2 different roulettes, a premium roulette and item roulette. So, let's start with the odd roulette first. Read error. Yep, that's... okay. That's how you can tell you're in a beta. I guess we'll do the main option. Yep, nope, that's still the same thing. And now we're in the void. Okay, I guess we're not doing an item roulette. How about the premium one? Okay, well, it tells me all of its stats. What the different items are here. Which there are a lot, which even includes characters. And it still does nothing. So the roulette does not work yet. That's good to know. But in original Sonic Runners, there'd be a roulette you can play, which gives you a bunch of different things. Some of it's items, some of it's characters, some of it's extra powers. Unfortunately here... Oh no, it does work! It just didn't work the first time. Must have been the other message that conflicted. Alright, well, let's roll. I got a silver. This is a buddy. My buddy is a helicopter. These are just actual little items, essentially, you can take into a stage. They give you special attributes to, like, mainly the Wisps and some characters. Let's roll again, because we got a couple of these tickets. Got a standard egg, that's another buddy. Just a balloon. Nothing special. Ooh, got a gold one. These are rare. Oh, yeah, there you go. Red Crystal Monster. This thing is a good buddy. 170 or 150 same type combo. Turns all small crystals red. So this gives you more points for crystals because of the typing. That's cool. So that's how this works. You just roll for some eggs, and you get a different set of buddies. You can get some actual characters to play as in stages. Okay, this does work. So let me do an item roulette. You can get rings, you can get powers for the stages, like, in this case, 5 springs. I have 3 free spins, so I might as well use another one. Invincibility, 1 more spin. And I got laser. Now from here I have to pay out with tickets, so I'm not going to do any more. I'm actually going to leave. Got my daily gambling in. It's good to check in on that every day just because of the whole you get free play system. So let's go back to story mode. I don't know if I want to use one of these just yet. We did just get a free Cyan Wisp. I can even do an invincibility. And you know what? Yeah, I'll take one of the springs too. Hey Matt, how you doing? So anytime I want to use these items, I just tap on the screen. But obviously they're not going to always be available. It just depends on the situation. Now, the order you pick those items, it is important. So I picked a Wisp first. So because of that, I have to use the Laser Wisp before I use Invincibility and the Springs. I gotta remember to look back down. Less input lag. Notice here I can't use those powers, so this is what I was talking about before. The powers, they're only useful in certain situations. So in this case, I can use it in the main section of the level, but not during the Eggman attacking phase. Like the top half. Top halves are usually the most lucrative areas. They have a lot more of the extra powers, crystals, even some enemies to combo off of. Yeah, that's right. Give me that magnet. This is a perfect section for magnet too. And of course, they give you a magnet right before you get to an Eggman section, so It's not the most useful, because about half of my timer was just wasted for a cutscene, but it is kind of useful for the beginning for crystals. But I guess it is what it is. I think missed 2 of those 10 rings that I could have easily grabbed. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I literally jumped over it. Well, I'm gonna use my own cyan laser then, because, oops. Oh no. No, no, no. I knew that was gonna happen. Do I want to use a ring for that? You know what? Yeah. I'm gonna use a red star ring for that. I get a free power coming back from it anyway, so in this case I get drill. I just feel stupid. The timing of that end lag. Just probably could have not done as many jumps. And I could have survived. That's a good amount of points right there. These are sections I can usually also take a look at chat too. Even though it does get kind of fast, I can still check on you guys. Doing alright? That's good to hear. I'm doing alright myself, thanks for asking. My day was pretty simple. I mainly just kind of play around with some old hardware. It's always fun. Turning an old laptop into a Chromebook. Fun time. Nope. Now that may not be worth it. I have a high score, so I'm fine. I could have went in there with the invincibility on. That wouldn't have been a problem. That's where invincibility can be really useful. Same for a shield, because you can't get rings in those sections anyways. Ooh, now we're going to work on my animal bonus. That's good. Mind you, I do have to equip those. I already forgot we got one from the roulette I wanted to use. We're just gonna skip past all that crap. Straight to Eggman. There's one of the dailies, so that gives me a bunch of rings. Yeah, we don't have a sub-character here yet. In fact, we can't really do anything at all with characters just yet. So I can just equip a buddy. So that should be it for now. Put that on my team combo 1. I don't need any of this stuff because it's just a boss fight. I'm gonna go in without any items for that reason. We're not much of a problem here, Eggman. We're used to this. I've trained in the endless of running. It's good that technically vary up the boss fights, but the boss fights are like the weakest part of this game. They're very easy. So anytime they come up like, oh man, I guess I'll just get through this real quick before I get back to a standard stage. Curse you. Oh, I forgot he calls him egg breath in this. Because this was during the meta humor era of Sonic, so a lot more jokes like that. It kind of works better in this format because it's just a standard good guy versus bad guy kind of plot. Nothing very specific. Thanks for all the stuff. Now here, Dr. Eggman's dirty tricks. What, is he gonna fool Knuckles again? Every time I hear this song, I keep on just thinking of the dumbest interactions that happen in Sonic Lost World, because this is the goofy satire song. They play this all the time in that plot. And anytime you heard this song play, it's a goofy interaction between characters. Now, let me tweak my team up a bit, because you can have up to 2 different buddies. I'll probably end up just having the helicopter, because it's better than balloon. What do I want for this stage? I think invincibility, that's a given. You can only have 1 of each item type, so can't really change anything there. You can also give yourself any of these boosters. Although we can't unlock the character switching one yet, because we only have the 1 character. I'll definitely do the score bonus. And I have invincibility set. I'll do a spring. I think that's it for now. I really wish I had my original save from back in the day to show this off, because I had a lot of stuff unlocked at that time. A good amount of characters, some good buddies. I played a lot of the events that happened at that time, too. So I even had some event-exclusive characters. It's good to have this combo so high right now, because I'm going to get a lot of red gems, thanks to my buddy. Also, you can see the bonus only goes as high as plus 100. Your combo can go higher than that, but it's not going to matter after a certain point. So at this stage, we're just getting the same amount of bonus points. Still got to keep the combo going, because it's a lot of points. Oh no, went up to 150. I thought it actually capped at 100, but I guess I'm wrong. I just love when you get a good run going like this. The flow of the game is just so fast-paced. Like, when you have a good run going, it feels good. Also, for a game that came out for a phone specifically in 2015, this looked really good. Like, it still holds up by today's standard, too. Art style is really good. But that's usually the case for a lot of cartoon stuff. Not to mention just how well it pops on a phone screen. Everyone has super sharp lines on their characters, so it's very easy to see everything going on. When you have to work on mobile screens, you gotta remember, they're like maybe 7, 8 inches tops for a lot of people, so you gotta work with very small screens. The usual is around maybe like a 5 to 6 inch form factor. So you gotta make your stuff stand out if you're making a mobile game. And the harsh black lines drawn on the characters really help them stand out. It's like watching a comic book. Nah, we're doing good. Might have took that 1 hit, but that's really not the worst. We're coming into the section where I'm not gonna really have rings anyway, so Ring Cat's not a problem. It does drop my score though, or my combo. This is the section where I might want to use that invincibility almost immediately. I'll use it here. That was such a really bad spot for it, because there was nothing here to hurt me outside of the drills. Speaking of which, time for me to be the drill. Nope. I tripped. Oh no. It's fine. I think that was a good enough run to stop on that one. That's probably going to give me 2 levels? Not 1. Because now we're starting to get to a point where I need a lot more rings and points to actually get the level. It'd be good if I can unlock another character at some point soon, because I can't remember when you get a flight character in this. I think it's after this specific story beat. The thing is, the beginning of this game is kind of slow for a mobile game. You gotta go through a lot of different areas to finally unlock a lot of your mainstays for this thing. A flight character, power character, anyone in general. Because again, you need at least 2 characters for the character swap mechanic. That's not even available yet. And we're still fighting newer versions of bosses here too. Thank you for Red Ring. There's not always a guaranteed chance for a Red Ring to drop from Eggman. I don't remember what the odds were. It's like maybe 10%. I feel like that's an accurate percentage. I think during the boss fights it's more likely compared to just like the Eggman rush on a stage. Even then, the odds aren't that high. Like maybe 20, 30%. Again, I'm just pulling these numbers out of thin air, so don't quote me on that. I haven't played this in 10 years. Close to it because of the whole shutdown situation. More animals. Thanks. Is that too much to ask? What do you think? It's called slavery. Let him go? I mean, we always do. I don't know why. So that's it for the animal section of the story, if I'm not mistaken. That should be it for episode 1. Now we're still going on this whole chapter. Well, it's episode 4, technically. When I say episode, I'm thinking like a chapter marker. Western Forest. Looks the same as Forest. Doesn't help they're using a lot of the same still shots from Sonic Lost World in the cutscenes. Because again, that was the newest mainline Sonic entry at this time. It was only about 2 years old at this stage. Actually, not even, because this, at least beta-wise, came out in the beginning of 2015. That was a little over a year old at this stage. Yeah, we're fine. We're gonna take a break from the main episode story and I want to go over to the other mode here, timed mode. Doesn't really matter what we do here. Now that's a power stage, and I don't have any power character, so that's gonna be a problem. So, ooh, we can. Don't have any power characters yet. If I get lucky from roulette, I might get one. Here is one of the newer songs. I was hoping we'd hear one of these soon. This was from Volume 2 of the OST. But the goal in time attack is just get as many points as you can in a short amount of time. Now, this run's not going to be all that lucrative because I don't have a power character. So half of these enemies I can't even kill. Time extension, give me that. More time. More time. Even more time. Gotta keep on getting those clocks. And the most important thing to grab during these attack Eggman segments. Even though I can't attack these enemies, it's actually good to still be on the top half. There's a lot of gems up here. And that's it. I can extend the time by using red rings if I want, but no point when I don't have a power character, so I'm gonna hit no. There's all the things. Neat. Get a little bit of a level up from that. Probably not that much, sure enough. Those levels that they say go in with a certain character, go in with that certain character. Here's another example. Here's a flight area, and we still only have a speed guy. So, try again. It's just not going to be that great of a run. Just because we won't be able to do too much. Although, I feel like this is a better stage for my speed character than the power stage was. See that? Even though I couldn't really go any higher, there was a laser wisp. It was still good to be on the top half. I can't be in the air as long as a flight character, but a speed character can go in a lot of areas a flight character can. Dude, those clocks were like the worst spots. I tried going for one, I think I would have whacked my head on a wall. Oh, come on, that bouncing. Could have got the clock if it didn't bounce up in the air. Seriously, man, the soundtrack in this game does not have any right to go as hard as it does. But it's a fantastic soundtrack. It's just a shame it was in a mobile game only. It's like, yeah, that's the fastest way to put out some fantastic music nobody's ever gonna hear. Because even if you have a large install base for a mobile game, chances are the mobile game may not last. Because mobile games have a short shelf life unless they're extremely viral. See what happens when I hit the plus, because that's how you bought things originally. Alright, so I can convert my red rings into actual rings here. That's how they transferred around the microtransaction system in this. So I would normally be actually using my real world money at this stage to buy more things, but this is a fan-ran project, so you can't do that. You can't take money for a thing like this. Otherwise, Sega will come knock at your door and shut you down. I also do see up here on the very top right, I get more lives just by the game being open. So I went from 8 lives to 9 lives just by it counting down. Which, that's nice, because again, you would have had to have either bought your way into playing more of this game with microtransactions, or you would have had to just wait like an entire day. And here I can even buy more lives too with the red rings. And they give you a lot of red rings in this revival version of the game, which is great. I also see something in the options here. Because this is also where you go if you want to view your ID. This is where you can transfer your game's information. Now, I'm not going to actually do that, so I don't have to worry about my ID being shared to anything. You also have your username you can change at any time. Maybe wondering, why is my username something different compared to normal? So that's my actual username I use in everything. So I put SonicGhost in. It's a forbidden word. You want to know what the forbidden word is? Sonic. You can't use Sonic in your username in this game. Sonic's illegal. All Sonics will be shot on the spot by Shadow. People were wondering why my name was not that. There's why. I literally can't put it in. Also, I got a lot of gifts here that I've just stored away. This was me probably just booting up the game for some of the daily stuff. Let me accept it all. A lot of stuff. Also, you can have up to 300 gifts, but I've never had that problem in the original version of Sonic Runners. You always just grabbed your gifts when they were available, so that whole system didn't really matter. Can I only do 1 and 3? Okay. Use 3. Okay, that got me something. I got Orbot. Take that, Eggman. He's my sidekick now. So that rolled for 3 different eggs. That was the difference between 1, 3, and 5. You can roll as many eggs as you can pick. But it uses more of your tickets. Yo, there you go! Finally, I got another character. I got Omega. So now it's my first power character I can use. Yeah, we're not going yet. Alright, I'm gonna roll again. So I still have another one of these. Ah, man, I was really hoping for another character. The character ones are... Ooh, a baby wisp. The character ones are the rainbow eggs. So I want one of those or one character. Man, I used a lot of red rings to go up to 5 rolls. I'll do 1 roll. 15 for 1. Kind of a lot. They got me another buddy. A Tails Omochao. I'll do 1 more. I don't want to use all my red rings right now. Because, see, it's getting me so close every time. I just want a character. But if you get the same buddy, it does level up, so it wasn't a waste of my time. I'll take it. Can I get a big? Big if true. Hey! I only spent 5 red rings after all those rolls, so see, gambling does pay. Disclaimer, gambling really doesn't pay. Please don't gamble your life savings away. You didn't hear it from me. I just want the big. Come on. Now there's 2 bigs. Come on. Oh, gee, that's like right there. I'm getting everything but big. Look, now there's 1. But hey, if I get the 10 red rings, that's profit. Yeah, there you go. Rank increase. Now the table's more lucrative, and it has eggs. But can we get a super? No, you get an egg. And it's still good, because this is how you get buddies for free. You don't have to worry about red rings here. But once you do a super roll, then, or a big roll, I should say, then you're off the table. And I believe it's the same for super. We're going back. Thankfully, that funds your ticket. Jeez, everything on this board is green. I keep on going. I'm using up all these tickets because this is all it's really useful for. Ooh, 2 bigs. And I get the worst thing on the board, rings. I mean, they're not bad, but I would rather have anything else because I have more than enough rings right now. I don't know how useful rings are going to be in this version of I almost said Rivals. Sonic Runners. There you go. That's better. I can't do any more spins. Oh no. $45, 103, that's less than half. I'm gonna do 1 3-roll. Because I really want a character. Yeah, that's a rare buddy though. Excalibur, or Caliburn, technically. It'll become Excalibur later. You played Black Knight, you know. I get a Ghost, a Boo. Surprised Nintendo's never sued over this. And I got a random magnet. Sure. I'm not gonna do that again. That was a lot of red rings. I can't get that many rings fast. So, yeah, we're not doing that again. Going back to the story. Hey, Jared, how you doing? Yeah, Matt, well, I'm seeing both your comments. The one thing, yeah, when I'm on the main menu, at intermission, I keep on thinking I'm on break when I hear the theme, too. For me, I just associate that song now with taking breaks, so I can see that. But, yeah, the sound effects from Sonic Lost World were a little more generic compared to a lot of the other games in the franchise. And since this game is using a lot of Lost World theming and assets, it really does stick out. At least the menu sounds are more original for this. Alright, I want Caliburn. Thankfully, they're both active at the same time. And now, I can pay those rings to have my sub-characters. Now I can play with a separate character, which is great. If I want to do anything else here, though, I don't want the invincibility. I've ran out of those. I think I use them every time I go to level 2. So why not 17 freaking drills? Sure. I recommend Murder of Sonic on Steam. I guess that must be a thing automatically from Steam. It's good. It's a free-to-play game, so there's no harm in trying it. But it's a fun little adventure. It's like about 4 hours tops. The story for that said novel is pretty good. I recommend it. Because apparently Steam also says I recommend it, so it's not wrong. So much asteroid. Nothing to do there. Thanks, Caliburn. I forgot that's his ability. Just... Nah, man. Eggman, just don't even bother. Look, I'm here now. I'm gonna wreck you. No, barely stay on the top half. That was a terrible place to get dropped from the asteroid. Alright, Caliburn, you're gonna stab Eggman in the back again? Yeah, there he goes. The sword's fantastic. I don't think I ever had Caliburn when I played this game back in the day. I can't remember, but he might have been one of the events specifically. So if he was an event buddy, I wouldn't have gotten him, because I don't think I played this event. Oh no, oh no. Omega, help me. That's kind of bad, because now I lose the character I can go top halves. Yeah, I had a feeling. That's where you need those extra jumps. I'm not going to continue that run. That was kind of bad. Alright, so I have, what, 17 drills going in? This will tell me if I lose that drill. So I should have 16 if I lose it here. Didn't even use it. Right to the tail. And that's it. No Eggman. Just give me a shield. And that's it. I literally just found the Chow and went home. Like, that's what that episode story is. Mind you, you can literally skip all these. These episode stories really don't matter at all in the grand scheme. They're extremely shallow. But again, it's a mobile game. You can't expect that much from a phone game on story. Unless it's like a full-blown RPG or something. I can level up. Yeah, thanks. You need to take me out of the action for that? Well, this is the part where we're supposed to get this as a tutorial, so I'll level him up to level 5. Use rings to level up your character. I'm literally at the cusp of level 2. This is a way to level up your character faster, but it uses a lot of rings. Because every time you level, the ring count goes up. But this is also good for characters that you just got. So in this case, Omega's kind of behind. So I can level him up a couple times. Just with rings. I'll just do up to level 3 though. It gets a little expensive. Even though there's a limit smash, this is where you go to roulette or pay a whole bunch of rings, either normal rings or red rings, to even upgrade the character's star level. So not really worth it. Also, you can see how many characters are in this. You got Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Classic Sonic, Christmas Sonic, Christmas Tails, Christmas Knuckles, Shadow, and the list goes on. There's a lot of characters you know from different games, a lot of variants from them because of the holidays and such. And they all have different attributes too, so they're technically different characters. Even some I don't recognize right away, like Whisper, because I believe that character was from the Archie series. So that's a name you won't know if you don't read Archie comics. And the only way to get these characters, roulette. You gotta spin to win. Here, we'll do one because I got red rings. Wow. So close to gold. No more. I can't keep on gambling. I'll gamble my life savings if I keep on going back to that roulette. Can't keep on doing this. Yeah, I know. Thanks. I've already been doing that. Alright, we're down to 16. It does use the power, even if you don't use the equipable item. It still gets used. I'm not going to equip anything if I don't think I want it. In fact, here, specifically, there's no point. I will say the beginning gameplay loop here gets a little stale, just because I'm playing the same stage over and over and over again, technically, for these episodes. It's once you get past, I think it's a couple episodes in, and I thought I would have been done by now, so I'm going to assume around episode 10. I think that's when you start seeing different landscapes. So thankfully, the time attack mode's how we'll see the other areas too, if you're not that far ahead of the story yet. I'm just glad to see fans have brought this game back to life. I thought that Sega did this game dirty. It had a fantastic first few months, and then the Spike update basically killed it, and that was like halfway through its life. The fact the Spike update even happened to begin with was just really disgusting on Sega's part. We'll just force players to die more often on the stages so we can charge more for microtransactions. For that stage, they'll get us more money. No, that was a terrible idea, and it really backfired. That one update alone killed an entire game. But now we play for a while. I'm going to open up some questions to the chat on this one. Who played this back in the day on their phone? Because again, this was only a year-long game. Surprised I didn't make that ledge. Was that a red ring? I saw something red up there and it looked like a ring. Looks cool. I would recommend, if you want to try it now, I would just go to Sonic Runners Revival and get it from them, since that is the version nowadays you can still play. That was important. I wanted it. I believe it is flat. Oh, it's just SonicRunners.com. I'm surprised they got that handle. I didn't even realize that was their handle. I thought they had to go under the Revival name, but I guess Sega really didn't care. Dangerous section here. Good thing I had rings as a backup. Oh, whoa, man, that drop off. You fail one jump, and then you get hit hard with gravity. That's why it's good to have a second character on standby. It is worth paying the rings to use the swap character function. Dude, that's just so weird. I never knew that. And now every time I go to hit Eggman as a power character, I take damage. You know, this game, I thought you played Sonic Runners back in the day, Matt. But it's hard to remember because it's, again, almost 10 years have gone by now. Yeah, we're not doing another run. Okay, the servers are not liking that run either. Ah, there we go. Please move to a space with a stronger signal. All right, hang on. Hang on. Gotta make a collect call. Like, no, I'm in a strong signal spot game. Let's try it again. That's more of a server hiccup, not an internet hiccup. That's the default message the original Runners gives you, so I'm not surprised on that one. That's a good thing that wasn't a great run, because that would have been kind of stupid. I'm really needing this to connect in. You're still on... Yeah, I'm on my internet, so there's no reason for this to not connect. I might do a force internet connection thing. Sometimes I do this on my phone if I have a weird network error. Yes, we'll try again. To be fair, it could be a natural server problem. Because as a reminder, beta, and their servers are maintained by fans, so this could have some hiccups. Yeah, we're not gonna try that again. Now this is fine if that's gonna be the case. If you had a connection error back in the day, this happened too. Can't even get their status page to run, so I think the servers at the moment could be down. And if that's the case, then I don't know. Yes, I know. It's fine. We're gonna just reboot the app real quick here. Oh, that's Pokemon. No, we don't want that. They're right next to each other. There you go. Oh yeah, I'm getting connection timeout here, so they might be offline. Which if that's the case, I can just play in offline mode for a little bit. Oh yeah, this is definitely offline. Alright, the server's gonna error again, so I might go on offline mode. Man, it's really good they introduced that, huh? Unfortunately, I need the game to do its thing again, so I'm gonna have to just reboot it, and that'll fix that. Okay, you never did play it. I thought you did, but again, it's been years, so I'm probably misremembering that. That's my bad. How about we get a variety here? I'm gonna play the flight stage. I'll check in on the server status after we do like 1 or 2 runs here. If it's down for too long, then we'll probably end up just stopping the runners part of tonight's stream. I might just play something else after the fact. Because mind you, this is a game with basically the same loop. You see me doing this, that's the entire game. So after a while, it does get a little old. That is mobile games for you though. You're only supposed to play these in small chunks. No. I can make that higher path. I don't know why, I just always like playing the speed character here in these attack Eggman sections more than the flight character. I think it's just because of how the flight character takes longer to get to the ground. So it's easier for me to dodge these springs with the speed character on the flight. That felt more like a speed section and a flight section. One thing I always found kind of weird, at least in terms of theming for this game, because it's based off Sonic Lost World's aesthetics, it uses 3 different stage themes. World 1, World 6, and World 7, specifically. So it always just kind of felt weird that they're using the first area of the game, and then the other 2 are late game areas. So that was kind of a weird mix, but I guess that's because Sonic Lost World's aesthetic, for what they were wanting to go for, Lava Area made the most sense for a power character, so we'll use that for power stages. And then Sky Road was all in the air, so of course it's perfect for a flight character. They don't use the beach, they don't use the winter area, they don't use desert, or even desert for the one gag area that's in Desert Ruin. So, kind of funny when you really break it down that most of the areas on this are just being used mainly from the late game of Sonic Lost World. Hey, at least it didn't use the bonus world. That would have been kind of a mess. I don't know why there was an asteroid wisp power there. That was like the most useless place for an asteroid. It's on the beaten path. You're gonna get those gems anyways. No, I missed Eggman. That's fine. Honestly, you don't really get as much from the attack Eggman section in the first run. It's usually after past 2 or 3 when you get the speed ups, you get more from them. So it's not as big of a deal to miss in the first time around. Dude, of course, that's what happens in the interaction. I not only miss, but I get hit. Oh well, again, still doesn't really matter. Okay, maybe now it does if that's gonna happen. Finally, I actually hit him. It's a miracle. and then he hits me, so never mind. Power Carriage is the most awkward one to actually hit Eggman with, because of the dash mechanic. Really? I couldn't do much there. I had to just rely on my dash, which was not well timed. Oh well. Not the best run. Not the worst. Kind of just there. I don't know if we're going to be playing any more of this tonight because, this. Servers are down. I'll check in on their Discord and see if that's actually happening or not. Let me see. Not very much talk about that at the moment. But I'm gonna assume what I'm seeing here either means they're having a network error or maintenance. One of the two. Because I can keep on going on the offline mode, but it's the same old thing over and over, and I think we have the idea at this stage. So I'm probably gonna just say that'll be it for Sonic Runners on tonight's side, which is perfectly fine. Played this for about an hour and a half. This was me wanting to sample how this version of the game really plays now. And, well, outside of the reliance on a newer server. Oh wait, no, it's still running! Huh. So what the heck was this bad gateway I saw? I might still end up swapping then, but you can get back into the main game for at least a moment. In-game transfers are now working. What? That wasn't a thing earlier. Okay, so even telling people if you don't have the right information, so you can still contact them if you met the criteria. Okay. This was probably something I should have got earlier on as a pop-up. I just didn't get it. Wait, how would this work? I'm gonna hit yes. Oh. I was wondering. It's like, no, there's no way that takes me to the Google Play link, right? Because that's been dead for like 9 years. No, it comes here. This is why I keep on thinking the game is down. Even their website still says it is. But hey, we got lucky enough. It said something about a new version. What? So maybe it was updating quietly in the background. I have no idea what is happening in terms of like everything at the moment. It's still 2.3.0 beta 6, so if there is a quote-unquote update, it's internal. So like a server-side update. Okay, that was a weird interaction. Let me look up something here real quick. I want to look up the episode lists for this specific game, because it had a lot of episodes, if I remember correctly. List of episodes, here we go. Holy crap, yeah, this had a lot. This had 50 episodes. And they're all broken up into sub-episodes. Right now, we're in episode 1. If I'm correct. Right? 501. No, we're in episode 5. Not so heavy loadout. Okay. So, if you want to break that down, 50 episodes. Not going to count some subsections. We're 10% there. 10% on the way. A thing. I'm trying to remember when you unlock more stuff from the story. Because the biggest problem is you want to play more stages, but that takes a while. Let's see. I think it's in stages. I can look. Yeah. So this is what I mean by the grind system. This is where things take a while. Popping up on the main feed here in a second. It already lost its place. Alright, so here's the list of the stages. You've already seen me playing through all the 3 of these because of offline mode. Windy Hill is just the starter stage. You get this right from the very beginning. Sky Road is our next stage we get to play. It unlocks after you clear episode 10. As a reminder, we're on episode 5. And every episode, it has multiple different tiers you gotta run through. So if you don't have enough score to pass that other tier, you're still playing another stage, which in this case is just another round of Windy Hill. And that's not even counting if the episode has a boss at the end or not to fight. Lava Mountain, the power stage, episode 16. So almost, I would say that's like a third or a little over a fourth. I'd say around like a 1/3 mark, let's say, of the story. Then you can finally play the power stages. It takes a very long time for you to get out of Windy Hill in this stinking mobile game. You're playing the same stage multiple times. But once you unlock the other stages, then they get put in the roulette, so you can play Windy Hill, or Sky Road, or Lava Mountain. It can just alternate the stages. It's not a thing where you're just playing the same stage all the time, if I remember correctly. There's also a special event version of these stages. I just don't know how this works in the Run a Revival project. Because you have things like Windy Hill in springtime. This is what they use for the Easter event. And you have Puyo Puyo Falling Sky Road, which my phone just fell asleep because of how long I've been sitting here. So, it's just Sky Road, but with Puyo Puyo theming. Birthday Windy Hill. This was for Sonic's birthday. That's even when they introduced Classic Sonic. Desert Ruins, an actual brand new stage, which is a shocker. They gave you another stage to play. But what was this? Was this just a standard stage? If that's the case, it'd probably be a speed stage. Doesn't say. Tropical Coast in summer. Again, another brand new stage. This was a power one, I guess, because of the robots. Halloween. That's Sky Road, but again, you got a Halloween theme. Also, I love, you can see, you got Chaos Zero there, and then you got an actual Egg Fleet ship. It's just like, what are these buddies? Buddy system in this game are very goofy. And then you also have Frozen Factory, 2 different versions. A Christmas event version. This is where we first got introduced to the Christmas Sonic. This is a thing a lot of people first saw in Sonic Frontiers and thought, hey, that's a cool new thing they made for Sonic Frontiers. Your mobile game did it first. That costume was here in Runners way before Sonic Frontiers was even a concept. Here's the other Frozen Factory version, which is just a standard stage. So, I didn't know about half of these events. I think the only event stages I played on, I think it was, I did the spring event, I remember that much, and I might have done the Puyo Puyo one. I don't think I got to play the birthday event, and then everything past I've never seen. So I didn't know they used this many other stage aesthetics from Sonic Lost World. The only one they didn't use, from what I'm seeing here, is the forest. Because they used every other zone. Interesting. Also, we've seen the 3 different boss types already here. So you got the standard Eggman, Ball, Spring, and other type of ball, but with spikes. But there were other bosses too because of events. And they were all Zaz. So the first boss from Sonic Lost World bounces Ball back at him. Hit Ball, which is running around the stage. You knock back the Spike Ball, so very similar to the Eggman situation. So, not much boss variety in this, but hey, at least they gave us another boss. And that's basically it for variations. It's kind of unfortunate, though, for this specific showcase, I can't really show any of those events. I think they have to be triggered by the server side. So an actual event needs to be happening for me to actually show off those stages. That's kind of an unfortunate situation. Can't really do anything there. I think because the servers came back online, I'm gonna just run through episode 5 now. And then I'll decide from there if we want to continue. Because at least now we can run through another episode again, instead of just have to play online. I might end up just doing this, and then maybe we'll just call it for runners. And depending on how I feel, I might just stream something else after the fact. We have to redo the stage anyways, because I technically cleared this, but then that's when the servers hiccup for a couple minutes. It was unfortunate, I lost all that progress, but it wasn't much. Also, I didn't get the character swap, I just realized that. I can quit, which is fine to do right now, because I didn't do a dang thing. I'm surprised I didn't save that setting. There we go. That's better. I'm surprised, though, how well this specific capture setup of mine has been working tonight for the phone. Because I haven't used it this long, ever. Way easier than the iPad, I'll tell you that much. Okay. Someone shooting off fireworks literally right outside my window. I have no idea what is happening. Give me a second. We're gonna be right back. Alright, we're back. Sorry about having to step away there for a random moment. That's something I've never experienced before. There are people just randomly in the back of us shooting out fireworks. I don't know why. It's a random Thursday night, middle of the month, no actual events or holidays, and these people are like 4 doors down. I have no idea what happened. The moment I went out to investigate, it stopped. It's not good, because we haven't had rain in a while around this area, so it's kind of dry outside. Kind of want to make sure one of those fireworks don't randomly stray over our yard and cause a problem. So that was an experience hopefully we won't have again. Let's continue where we left off. I don't even know what I was talking about before I stepped away. I literally just lost my train of thought. Fine. Fine, we'll start a new train of thought. How's everybody's week been so far? It's near the end. It's Thursday. Big day today, apparently, because if you're in the know of news, then you know what happened. Switch 2 was announced. Everyone's seen it coming. In fact, I think it was actually an announcement we got way earlier than we were supposed to because of the leaks. It sounds like Nintendo was super upset about all the leaks. I think it was so bad to a point where they just had to cut their losses and just make a teaser now. I'm going to just say this. For people who want to ask, what are my thoughts about the newly announced Switch 2? What thoughts? They didn't show anything. We have a teaser. I'm going to give more of my thoughts when we know more about the system. That's pretty much where I stand, because as of right now, it exists. We knew it did. Everyone knew it literally since last year. Nintendo themselves flat out said it. I'm shocked they're calling the new system flat out Nintendo Switch 2. I will say that kind of caught me by surprise, because Nintendo normally just names their things never by number. So this is kind of a first for them. But I don't have anything really to say outside of form factor looks like an improvement over the original. I like the port at the top now, as well as on the bottom of the Switch. Like, plug things into your system when it's in dock mode. Maybe also output from the top USB. That's cool. Looks like there's some like extra sensor on the Joy-Cons. So maybe that mouse rumor could be a real thing. We'll see. Well, that's really all I can say, because it's literally just, here's the system. You knew it's existing. Now please stop talking about it. Here, you got your little teaser. Come back in April. There's a lot of wants that I have for the system just because It's been 8 years, especially by the time it comes out. It'll be over 8 years since the Switch itself released. So I would like to see a lot of things from the original system addressed in this newer one and fixed. Better network card, better Joy-Cons, which already kind of look like that's the case because they're bigger. I don't like the original Joy-Con, personally. They're just too small for my hands. Unless I'm playing with them on the system or in separate hands, I cannot use Joy-Cons. They're way too small. So, already the newer one's looking better. And then it looks like a slightly bigger screen, going from 7-inch to 8-inch. And hopefully it still works with the original docks, because it looks like it's essentially the same form factor, just slightly bigger. But we'll see. Again, that's literally all I have to say about the Switch 2, because it's non-existent still. Like, all we know is a name and how it looks. That's it. Oh, and there's going to be a new Mario Kart. Everyone knew that as well. It's just kind of expected. New Mario Kart, that's also like saying you're getting a new bottle of water today. It's something you're gonna need. And a Switch, or even a Switch 2, always needs new Mario Kart. They might support more players, up to I think 24, based on what people are already kind of theorizing from the trailer shown. If that's the case, that'd be cool. A Mario Kart Wii was the first game that upped the player count to 12 players, so it'd be cool to see a new system do the same thing. Now 24. That was close. I want to keep the shield as long as I can. This is a really good run right now. We're getting near the attack Eggman section. If I can keep this up for a while. Oh, there goes the shield. Still have my other character to fall back on. I don't want to use Omega if I don't have to. No, no, no. I knew that was going to happen, but I had to do another jump. It's either die from the one drill or the other drill. Yeah, naming convention is different, but I will agree with you, Matt. It is better than Wii to Wii U. So at least the name here is not going to confuse the consumer. So I'm fine with it being called Switch 2. I have no objection to that. It's just going to be weird when you talk about you want to play this on the Switch. And then your brain's going to be like, wait, which one? Because there's two of them now. That's probably going to happen for the first year for a lot of people. Color scheme, I mean, it looks like a scheme. I can't really comment on that either because something tells me they might do two SKUs like they did for the original Switch, where they have one that's more like a basic color and then another one that's more colorful style. Because right now it's more of like a neutral color scheme with accent colors. I wouldn't be surprised when they make a set of Joy-Cons that are flat out colorful. That is one thing though I will say. It looks like the new Switch is not going to be compatible with the old Joy-Cons, at least in terms of putting them on the system rail-wise. They'll be compatible Bluetooth-wise, but in terms of actually using them on the console physically, that won't be the case because they have a new connection type. And I hope it's better than the Rails system. Because the Rails system, no joke, within the first month, failed on me. Like my original launch Joy-Cons. Within the first month, one of them broke. Like, that's how bad the Rails system worked on the Switch. It was very, very easy for that lock to just break. Because it's just a plastic clip. I'm gonna save my money, no point. But also, going back a couple lines there, sorry to hear it's been a rough week for you. I mean, hopefully today's announcement was the thing that made you look forward to the future, I guess. I can't really say it'd be a thing that makes you uplifted, because again, what did they talk about? There was literally nothing talked about outside of here's just what you expected from the leaks that we've been seeing for the past week. if you've been paying attention to any tech news in the past week or so, you've pretty much known everything that Nintendo literally showed in 2 minutes today. Outside of the Mario Kart thing. That's the only surprise. Everything else, unfortunately for the company's sake, did get leaked. Which is why leaks are bad. I kind of feel like Nintendo should have announced the system earlier than they did, though, for that reason. They probably should have started the new year with a Switch 2 announcement. Because I had a feeling that if the system's around the corner, other companies are gonna have things already made for it. And then they will show them off at the big tech event that everyone goes to, CES. Because a lot of leaks came out of CES. I feel like they should have announced it either before that event or during it, because unfortunately for their sake, they kind of forgot there's a major event where tech companies bring their hardware, which includes Switch 2 accessories. Big oops. Probably should have been paying attention to the dates. But this is why I haven't been paying attention to any of the leaks, because I wanted to be surprised, and I'm glad I didn't, because I will say I am surprised on some of the stuff they showed, at least in terms of the initial reveal. I just want to know more. That's where I stand. We got 3 months. I think they said April 2nd was the date, so it's going to be a little while, but 3 months from now we'll know more. Probably end up getting a release lineup, an actual date on the system, the price. I feel like the price is going to be $400. If I had to call it now, that's the safe bet. It's going to be more expensive than the original system, but not a major leap. I mean, keep in mind, original Switch when it came out, $300 at launch. The OLED model, which was the upgraded version, $350. And I'm talking USD here, by the way. So I say a $50 increase from the OLED model, since it has newer hardware. I think that's a safe bet. And that's just, obviously, the system. We don't know what the accessories are going to cost. They're probably going to cost, like, $80 like they did for the original system, because Nintendo's bad about money. Like, the Switch is cheap, but then when you start buying into the Switch, it gets expensive because of all the accessories. The accessories alone is what they really get you on. Alright, cool. This is in a different theme. It's the same stage we've been playing for the past hour, but it's now in Sunset. It's different. I literally just said before I'm probably going to stop after episode 5 was done, and I start another episode. Surely for curiosity on the graphical outlook. So I think for real, episode 6 will be our actual last episode for runners. I just wanted to see if this area changed, because I couldn't remember. At least it's good aesthetically, the areas can change depending on the episode you play. So it is slightly different. Not by much, but it's a slightly different look. Wow, that's kind of weird to put two asteroids next to each other. Could have had that if I'd seen it ahead of time. Oh, I tapped the screen a little too late. Very easy to do that if you're just not paying attention. And how far we'll get after this checkpoint with a power character on a speed stage. Ideally, it would be nice if I had another speed character for all the speed stages we play right now. That's why. Because with those kind of gaps, a power character, yikes. You are way better off having another speed character for that. Unfortunately, the rolls for it are getting kind of expensive with the red rings, and I don't want to keep on wasting my rings. Now without the microtransactions, red rings are even more scarce. So they're more valuable. Thankfully, every episode clear, we are getting 10 rings, so it's important to play through the story mode for that reason alone, even though it is the primary way you're going to play this game. Oh my gosh, is that lava mountain a power stage? It's in sight. I don't think you actually play it here, though. I think it's just a theme. So, if anything, it's a boss fight. Talk to the Wisp. Yeah, you had to reinstall the translator. I guess that broke in between adventures, huh? That's the thing from Sonic Colors. It's also weird to see so many different faces in this game, but at the same time, this is what mobile games do all the time in this franchise. They tend to use the lesser used Sonic characters, like Omochao. You got the other mainline characters. We've seen it in just the character unlocks. There was a lot of characters from the Archie series making a return here. Got a lot of other Sonic's friends like Silver or Rouge and such. A lot of characters normally don't get played. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it is Lava Mountain, but that's not the version I think you play on. I think that's just... Let me just make sure. Yeah, sure enough, I think that's just a cutscene stage, because you don't unlock this for another 10 plus episodes. I don't think that's really what you think it is. Don't have any roulette tickets. I'm gonna give it one gamble. With those red rings, give me one gamble. Let's go. Dang it. It's just Sonic. I could have got a character. There's like 30 characters in this game. And I spin a Sonic. The odds of spinning the same character you already have when there's like 30 characters or something crazy you can unlock just from the roulette. What are the odds that I get Sonic? Are you serious? The odds of this are probably like 5% at most. Well, that kind of sucks. But it's also good. Because I just leveled them up. The Limit Smash means he's just a more powerful character now. So, time limit was just increased by 5 seconds, and then you get 10% more bonus at the end of a stage. Woo. That's what the levels do for the character on the star count. They just give you more bonus stuff. That's why it doesn't matter. You don't have to roll. Well, that's just kind of unfortunate. Of all the characters, man, you gotta give me Sonic again? Just give me someone else. That would have been nice. I think that's gonna be our time spent with Sonic Runners Revival here. This is a great recreation, essentially, of the Sonic Runners server. Like, this works perfectly fine. Outside of that hiccup we had, what, an hour and a half in? The Revival server, excuse me, it's been working flawlessly. And the fact you have this offline mode means it doesn't even matter if the servers are on or not. The game's at least playable in some state. I don't think there was an offline mode in the original version of Sonic Runners back in the day. That's something that was added for this, which is great to have. Holy crap. So I recommend people give this a look. It's definitely worth your time if you have iOS or Android, doesn't matter what you have. This will work on any mobile device, so I definitely recommend people check out sonicrunners.com. That's where you can go to look at this specific version of the game. Mind you, if you're on iOS, there might be more steps you have to do to get this to work, because Apple does not like you installing things outside of the App Store. So I will warn you there, if you're going to be playing on iOS, it might not be easy to get this installed. To look up tutorials. I don't know how to do it. If you're on Android, just literally download a file and hit install. It's easy. It works great. So highly recommend it.